Hey, let's talk about something that is a massive headache for pretty much anyone doing social media. Should you be posting everything natively right inside the app? Or should you be using the scheduling tool to save time? It always feels like you have to pick one, save your time, or get actual results.
I mean, that's the big fear, right? We've all been there. You finally decide to use a scheduler to get your life back, and then you look at your numbers and they've dropped. And you start thinking, oh no, is this tool I'm paying for actually sabotaging all of my hard work?
And that's the trade-off everyone talks about. You either spend hours and hours posting everything by hand, chasing that elusive algorithm, or you schedule everything to stay sane, but you're constantly worried that you're sacrificing reach to do it.
Well, what if that was a false choice? What if you didn't have to pick one over the other? In this explainer, we're going to break down how you can build a smart system that gives you the best of both worlds, peak performance and efficiency. Let's do it. Okay, so first things first, we have to reframe this entire debate. This is not about good tools versus bad tools. For anyone running a business or a brand, this is about strategy.
So the old question, is scheduling just bad? That's a total dead end. It doesn't get us anywhere. The real question, the one we should all be asking, is what is the impact of my publishing choice on my performance, my risk, and my ability to scale? Now that is a much more powerful way to think about it. And let's get this out of the way right now. It's the biggest myth out there. Platforms don't just apply a blanket penalty because you used a scheduler. A lot of the time, what feels like a penalty is really just math. Think about it. When you start scheduling, you usually post more often. But if your audience size hasn't changed, your engagement per post is naturally going to go down. It's not a penalty, it's just audience saturation.
So if it's not a penalty, what actually matters? It's this: early engagement speed. How fast and how well people start interacting with your content in those first couple of hours is the #1 signal to the algorithm that says, hey, people like this, show it to more of them. This one concept is the key to this whole thing.
Okay, so keeping that early engagement idea in mind, let's look at why posting natively, right in the app, usually has a clear edge. And it all boils down to the special features the platforms give you.
This quote really just nails it. The most addictive, high-signal creative formats are designed to be constructed in the app. The platforms want you to use their latest, shiniest, most engaging features, and guess what? Those are almost always built to be used natively. And here's what you can actually lose. When you use a third-party tool for Instagram or Facebook, you often lose access to those super interactive things like polls and quizzes, the collab feature, adding trending music, and this one's huge, product tags that drive sales.
And it's the same story everywhere else. On TikTok, you can miss out on trending audio, which is basically the lifeblood of that platform. On LinkedIn, you might not be able to create those really great document carousels or customize your link previews. These aren't just little bells and whistles. They are fundamental to how people engage on those apps.
So what's the end result? It's pretty simple. Without those interactive features, you get fewer tabs. Without the trending audio, you get less watch time. No product tags means fewer saves. You're basically starving the algorithm of all the juicy, high-intent signals that it's looking for.
But hold on, this does not mean you should throw your scheduler in the trash. Not at all. Let's make the case for efficiency, because for any serious social media manager, scheduling is an absolutely essential tool.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Look at this. A whopping 63% of social marketers say that being bogged down by manual, repetitive tasks is what stops them from doing the important, high-impact work. That's time that you could be spending on strategy, on being creative, or on actually talking to your community.
And this is where scheduling tools are absolute heroes. They are perfect for keeping you consistent when you're posting on 3, 4, maybe 5 different platforms. They're a total lifesaver when you have a high volume of content. They make getting team approvals a breeze, and they help you standardize your reports so you can actually see what's working and what's not.
Okay, so you see the pros and cons on both sides, right? The key isn't to pick one and stick with it forever. It's knowing when to use each method. So here's a super simple framework to help you make that call every single time.
Before you publish anything, just ask yourself 2 quick questions. First, the one-tap test. Will using a scheduler take away an easy, single-tap action for my audience, like voting in a poll or clicking a product tag? Second, the data test. Will scheduling stop the app from collecting key data, like watch time on a trending sound? If the answer to either of those is yes, you should probably post it natively.
And this chart breaks it down perfectly. You want to go native for anything that uses interactive features, trending audio, or for a really high-stakes post like a big launch. You also need to go native to tag collaborators or products. But you should absolutely use your scheduler for your simpler content. Photos, text, basic carousels, your low-risk, consistent updates, and especially when you're juggling multiple platforms or need to get approvals from a team.
Okay, time to put it all together. Let's talk about how to build a real, practical hybrid strategy that you can actually stick to every week without burning out.
And remember, the goal here is not to be a purist. It's to be intentional. The best people in social media don't just pick one tool for everything. They build a flexible hybrid process that is perfectly designed for their specific goals and their business.
Here's how you do it, in 4 simple steps. Number 1, batch it. Schedule all of your consistent, low-risk content and get it off your mind. 2, go native. Literally block out native posting time in your calendar for your big, high-impact posts. 3, preview it. Always, and I mean always, check your scheduled posts on your phone to make sure they don't look weird. And 4, engage. Use all that time you just saved yourself to actually talk to your community in the comments and DMs. That's where the real relationship building happens.
And I really want to leave you with this idea because it's so important. If a publishing option causes you to dial back the type of content that generates sales, it isn't saving you time, it's costing you clout. If your workflow is stopping you from making the stuff that moves your business forward, then it's not efficient, it's expensive.
So, here's my challenge to you. Look at your content plan for this week. What is one high-impact, native-only post you are going to create? One with a poll or a collab or some trending audio. Plan it out, post it, and see what happens. Thanks for tuning in.